Welcome to the Queensland Cup. Today, round 9 from Bishop Park, Nunda. North Devils are at home to the Burleigh Bears. And it's a blustery old day here at Bishop Park. We're looking at a very interesting match. Two normally strong teams, although Norths have been struggling somewhat this year, but Burleigh are back to some of the better seasons that they've had in past years. Let's have a look firstly at last weekend's results. And in the first match of the round on the Friday night, a fantastic game between Aspley and Tweed Heads ended up in a 24-all draw. In our TV game, Redcliffe home 24-10 over Wynnum Manly. Burleigh had a good win over East to lead into this, and North were beaten by South Logan by 2. Ipswich came up with a 1-point victory over North Queensland. And so the table sees a clear leader now. Redcliffe on top on 14. There you can see Burleigh level with North Queensland in second. East and Ipswich making up the 5. And North third from the bottom on just 6 points. With me in commentary again, David Wright and Warren Boland. And given that position, David, North's have got a tough job today.
So let's have a look at the side that'll take the park. The other part of the challenge is they've had a number of changes from their selected side originally, or their program side. Let's have a look at it. Very young backline. Turner, Kepper, Thompson, Chambers. He's a Queensland under-19 player, so he's a good young kid. Perkins, Poppy and Foran. As I said, those two halves are going to have their work cut out for them. Up front also, it's going to be tough. Tolman's only a young guy. Mark Brentnell comes into the side. He'll give them some direction, even from the dummy half position. Then Crosman, Smith, Tagatisi and Manu. It's only a young side, Warren, and coming up against an experienced Burleigh side have been on song.
Half it, then the wingers Purdon and Lang with Alex Glenn and Jordan Atkins in the centres. At 5'8", Adam Hayden. Ben Black is the halfback. In the front row, James Griffiths, Ryan Gundry and James Stosick. Back rowers, Martin Grease, Lee Coghill and John Flint. As I said, they're a very strong team.
And there is an indication of that wind that Warren's speaking about. There's the trees blown, and there the Australian flag well and truly waving in the breeze. It's powerful here at Bishop Park, and it could well have a big impact on this game. The use of the breeze is going to be pretty important, of course, blowing across the field, but it'll more than likely, I would assume, favour the team probably coming from the southern end. And even though you can see plenty of movement of the leaves and everything there, it's probably even stronger than that's indicating. So fairly difficult conditions. Not the best of conditions, I suppose, for being a spectator today, but not a huge crowd either today for this clash between North and the Burleigh Bears.
Jerry, you mentioned that wind. I think it's going to have a very important toll on the game. North, I think, being the underdog, if they can take the benefit of the wind in that first half and use it judiciously, getting some good territory, getting away from the heavy play of Burleigh and get to half-time with the lead, I think they're a chance to win it.
Well, here come the North's team, the home team, the North Devils, and they're led by Mark Brentnell. Isn't it good to see him back? Not only playing in the team, but captaining them today, coming back from knee reconstruction last season. So his first Queensland Cup match of this year. He's a great little general out there. His kicking in general play is important as well. And as David was saying, this is a vital game for his team. At just 23 years of age, he's still only young. And, of course, son of the great Greg Brentnell. Hasn't reached the same heights that his dad has, but he's certainly been a very, very good Queensland Cup player, and the captaincy role will more than likely suit him today as well.
And Burleigh Bears led out also by their hooker in Ryan Gundry. So the two hookers the captains today, and I guess that's indicative of what a thinking position the hooker position is, even more so these days than perhaps in the past. And Ryan Gundry is one of those thinking players. He's got a good kicking game out of dummy half as well, as has Mark Brentnell. He's 29 years of age, and this is his 11th year in the Queensland Cup, 7th with Burleigh, had 3 seasons with his opponents today, Norths, back around about 10 years ago, and he'll be a very important part of the Burleigh team, as he always is.
The referee for today is Luke Potter from New South Wales. So good to welcome a New South Wales referee to the Queensland Cup.
Right out, fellas, wait for your kicker.
Tony Maxud is our video referee. North to win this game with 10 minutes to go to half-time. Here goes the Siri Lang. Of course, if Burleigh can score a couple of tries before half-time, that could all change. Ryan Gundry gets in a dummy half, and we haven't seen them put on a a series of attacking raids. As a matter of fact, they've hardly spent any time down there. Now there's a chance. I was back through a nice dummy and kept on going. He'll go all the way, Black. He scores the try. Ben Black's in for Burleigh. And now they have done what they needed to do, and that is to get away from Norths on the scoreboard, and they've gone out to a 10-4 lead.
Well, North's playing so well right up till this time, and how quickly a game can change. This little pop out the back door. Gundry fires the pass originally, and I think it's Johnny Flint just rolls it out the back. That kept the play alive, and Black then capitalised by going across the ruck and then straightening to go through the hole. Then a beautiful step away from Turner initially. And Ben Black has had plenty of experience, Ben Black. Played a bit overseas as well in England, and coming from North Sydney this year. He had played 7 NRL games for the Tigers. Let's have another look from the higher position. Here's a little ball popped out the back to keep it alive, and then Black becomes the second receiver, throws a bit of a dummy. The big North forwards, I think it was Blair who couldn't go the pace with him. Kepper tries to get to him, but Black was in too much open space, and Burleigh, out of nothing, have extended their lead.
Just watching that replay, it shows how nothing can, something can come out of nothing. Yep. Because you saw Black actually sort of just standing lackadaisically there, thinking that the play had broken down. Suddenly it was in his hands, and off he went. And the conversion is successful, so it's now Burleigh 12, leading North 4.
I just think it shows how structured the...
From the other side, from North, Warren.
Yeah, we've got assistant coach Trevor Bailey with me. Trevor, 2 weeks ago, North's disappointing against Aspley. Much better performance so far today.
Yes, it is, Warren. Our completion rate for the first half was about 80%, which is a massive improvement on what it has been. And we're just sort of hoping that we can keep it up for this half, and we're still in the contest, which is a good thing.
It's not just completions. I mean, it seems to be direction and thrust. Here goes Chambers.
Yeah, great chance for Will Chambers. He's got too much pace. He races away and scores a try. North's hit the lead for the first time, and this looks ominous for Burleigh now, as Norths go to a 14-12 lead with the breeze behind them 5 minutes into the second half.
Well, Trevor, you got your heads in front now.
Yeah, that I might sit here for the whole game, mate. Is that all right?
Take it through. It's Will Chambers here.
Yeah, Willie down the sideline there. Got a nice palm. Look at that, looking for support. You beauty.
Yeah, he got the palm off there onto Atkins. I mean, Atkins is a big, strong centre as well. They're having a good battle, those two.
They are, and Willie, who's recently signed with Melbourne for a couple of years, is certainly looks the goods.
So, just getting back to the degree of improvement.
Forward tackle now as Jeremy Smith struggles to his feet. Run out. Oh, crunching tackle. What a special by Lee Coggle. Little halfback will think twice about going up the middle. They want to keep this alive. This is the 5th tackle. This is 6 to go. They've got the bonus. They don't need to throw any silly passes now. It's 4 and... Have a look at this for a tackle by Lee Coggle on the little halfback. Don't come in the middle of the forward pack again, young Liam. This time to Thompson. Some punishing defence going on, but
Flint just finished off Poppy as he got rid of the ball.
Both young halves have been
just short of the line. In there, a dummy half is forward. Now there's a chance. Big chance here for Manu. Can he get it down? There's the try line. Good defence from Burleigh. They've held him out. So Manu to play the ball. 4 and waiting for it to be played. In the middle of the ruck there, Ben Black. Now the little rubber kick through. Who's going to be first there? Try to Anthony Perkins. He's got number 2 for the day. The young winger. Norths are in again and extend the lead to 20 points to 12.
What a great kick. I think it was Poppy. There were 4 players out there for Norths on their own. You hardly ever see this. Burleigh had condensed their defence. They were in trouble after a great ball that went up to Manu. And then that rushing defence were in trouble. What a kick. What a kick. And there were 4 players standing out here just trying to have a bit of a committee meeting to decide who should score it. Look at Poppy, steps back on the inside on Flint, and then knew the players were out there, knew a pass wasn't on, and that's a beautiful skill. Possession.
Yeah. If North lose today, they'll not only lose contact with the top 5, they'll lose contact with the top 7. They're going to have 7 teams getting away from them.
Almost a must-win for the Devils, and they're well placed to do it. Ben Black out of dummy half, makes a bust, good support as well. Up to Perkins, he's a flyer. Support back on the inside beautifully by the ever-present Nick Parfitt. And Burleigh have done it again from 60 metres. metres. Beautiful break there by Ben Black. He caught the markers asleep. He popped the pass back on the inside. Purden the flyer and Parfitt the flyer. They get the maximum benefit.
Haven't they got pace out wide? And Ben Black showing that he's a skillful runner. But great speed from Purden, and his mate Parfitt was back in there. Warren highlighted both those players in the opener of this game today, and there they've played a key role in this try. Nice one-handed offload. Beautiful support from Purden. Looked inside, knew his mate Parfitt was there, and he had the pace as well to run away from them. Excellent try, and a much, much needed try for Burleigh. Under the goal post means that if they can get the conversion, we're back to a 2-point ball game.
The grand final for Redcliffe in 65 with Artie Beetson went on to play for Balmain, I think. Yo-Yi did tackle off the ball here by Siri Lang. And Joel Thompson.
Yeah, Joel Thompson. With
a big don't argue by Siri Lang. There it is. Just on suspicion. He got there and had his path blocked. Then went on with the shoulder.
Burleigh captain being called out again.
They'll be on a first name basis. Siri Lang now being called over.
And he's not coming, eh?
He's not sure what number he's got on, even though he's worn it for the last 10 years. He's playing dumb. And he's
over very reluctantly.
Very slowly.
5! It's you, Siri. Call him winger.
This will not endear him to the referee, I can tell you.
What? Just go.
There you go. I don't blame him for that. That is totally indignant, what he was doing there. And he's gone for 10 minutes. I don't blame the referee for one moment.
Well, out you come.
It's unusual, but I don't blame him. And Siri Lang's going to take just as long to get off the park.
I need to let you know that I'm going to put him on report for the late shot. Again, we're at discipline. Okay, have a word to him. Number 5 will go on report for the late shot.
New South Wales referee Luke Potter stamping his authority on the match, and Siri Lang will play no further part with a 10-minute sin bin. He won't be back.
Well, that's bizarre.
But he was dawdling, Warren, wasn't he?
I agree. Well, it's bizarre behaviour. I don't know what he's thinking. But here you go, North. Chance to wrap it up.
Crossman keeps it alive up through the hands. Pass then back to Afitu. He's been dangerous in his running as well. Surely North against a 12-man defensive line can finally get the ball over the try line. Tolman, the young fellow, who's played his heart out in the middle of the ruck against a very tough Burleigh side. Back on the inside to Afitu. Cut down the good tackle. It's been fantastic defence by Burleigh on their try line. They get in a blind side, beautifully picked out this time. Kepper.
Flags in the air.
Yeah, they'll have to. Oh, yeah, flags in the air already.
Well, what fantastic defence by Burleigh. They got George Kepper on the outside. Decided not to use the foot just on the touch line.
Although the touch judge was certainly having a good look. So not only did the camera pick up the fact that it probably did touch the touch line, but it showed the excellent position of the touch judge. But you wonder whether or not they could have used the video referee. But then again, you assume that the decision would have been the same.
Is that move again? Move, it worked as well. It's got Purden into a bit of space.
But the space didn't last long. It's cut off by Jason
And
Poppy.
that time Purden, in the absence of a Siri Lang, had perched himself on the right wing.
For that move, you would think so. It didn't work for them.
And had a Siri Lang have been there, might that extra man have made the difference. So there you go. He's really made his team pay by that strange behaviour of Siri Lang, which led to him being sent to the bin for 10 minutes. He was going to go on report anyway. Here goes Jeremy Smith and offloads the pass. Oh, how about that pick up by George Kepper? It was almost a ball up the jumper trick, and he's caught about 20 metres out. In a dummy half is foreign. Back inside, Brentnell offloads it again to Tolman. North, yet another attacking raid.
Got him on this left-hand side.
Yet again, they're attacking inside the 20. Out wide now to Thompson. Joel Thompson finding that man again, Perkins. How close is he this time? There you go, 3 metres short. North's ready to finish off. Here's Yo-Ye. The pass across field. Bretnell keeps it alive. Straightening up goes a P2. Now across field again. They've got numbers out there. Out to Chambers. Chambers, he's got Kepper. Goes for the line. They've stopped it again. Kepper keeps it alive again. And a Fita scored it. It's Tagatese, rather. Tagatese has gone over. And finally, Norths have managed to get through one of the most determined efforts and sustained efforts in the...
Going, locked in.
Scrum's going down, and here come Burleigh. If they scored a converted try here, at least it'll only be a 2-point margin, so the little kick is tried as the full-time hooter goes, picked up by Tolman, and all he has to do is take the tackle, and that is it. So our visiting referee, Luke Potter, blows full-time, and Norths have defeated Burleigh by 26 points to 18 in a fascinating game. A really tough encounter up front, two very solid forward packs, some skillful backs, some, well, pretty impressive completions from both teams as well, in difficult conditions as far as the wind is concerned. And Norths dominated territory, dominated possession, and came out on top in the end by 26 points to 18, but that was despite some desperate efforts by Burleigh to stay in touch. So the penalties favoured Norths by 11-4. Their completion rate 36 from 50, 24 from 37 from Burleigh, 60% of possession, 6